This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
Gotta say, usually I have an idea of the direction of the show and where it's going to go. And today, quite honestly, I'm not really sure. We're starting with 5 words, and I have some ideas where we're going to go with that, but I'm really not 100%. I'm all right. I'm not even 40% sure where we're going to go with that. It's good to be me. That's where we're starting. Think about that words for a moment as we introduce our next guest. She's the owner and life coach at Strategic Development. She is Cindy Valente. She's back with us. How are you today?
I'm great, Steve. How are you today?
Intrigued? It's good to be me. Hmm. Um, would you say, as we begin today, that comes under the umbrella of you need to love yourself and be comfortable in
Yes.
your own skin?
Yes.
Okay,
And
so I'm
not
gonna,
be afraid to be you, unapologetically you.
there's a song was playing the other day by Sting, and it's called "Englishman in New York," and it talks about how he's a legal alien in New York. And there's a line in the song, and it's powerful. And the line is, be yourself, no matter what they say.
Right.
And kind of sounds what we're talking about here.
We
Be who
are.
you are.
Right. So that's why I wanted to make this episode. People often assume my confidence or my drive come from perfect conditions, perfect timing, or the right support. But what they don't see are the quiet turning points and the personal work it took to become who I wanted to be and who I am today. If there's one thing that keeps teaching me, it's that the world has an opinion always, but it doesn't get to write our story. And that's where today's conversation really starts. Because the moment you realize the world can be loud, messy, and unpredictable, and you can still rise above it without apology, that's when you discover real freedom, freedom to be you.
Mm. How many times do you look at somebody, you envy them, and you think, wow, they just make it look so easy, the success and everything. But to the cliche, walk a mile in their shoes, you have no
Right,
idea what they're going through,
right,
what they went through to get to that point.
right.
It's much
It's
involved.
huge. It's
Yeah.
a lot involved to for any of us to be where we are today. You have to jump through a lot of hoops and be proud for all of us who we've become.
Mm. I feel that many times we don't embrace the it's good to be me thought is because we don't celebrate the wins. We don't look at
Right,
where we were even a year ago. Pick a year
right,
ago. Go look
right.
back. What were you doing? And what has transpired in that year? I think you kind of be blown away. Your head might spin a little bit, thinking, oh my gosh, I did that. Oh, I did that. I got over that. I
Right.
piloted through that. Like I look back, I'm like, I'm I'm amazed what it took place in a year.
Exactly. And it really does flies by. So let's dive into being good with your own happiness.
Mm.
People struggle with more than anything is being happy. I'm not talking about just being happy, but being good with being happy. Happiness does not need an excuse, like I'm happy to because XYZ happened.
Hmm.
Own it.
Yeah. Do you feel, Cindy, that many of us don't give ourselves permission to be happy because of guilt?
Absolutely. And we're afraid we might hurt somebody if we're happy, if they can't share the same happiness we are. We feel like we're hurting their feelings and taking away from ourselves with just being who we are.
Hmm.
It's unfortunate that that happens, but I think it happens often, all the time. And but we also have to remember that being happy can inspire others. It can show them what's possible. So even though you
Hmm.
feel your spark may get taken away from not wanting to share your own happiness, do it anyway because you don't know what spark you can start in somebody else's own personal happiness.
Do you feel that we forget how igniting somebody's spark can put logs on the fire within us and
Hmm.
make us feel so much better.
Absolutely. I mean,
Mm,
isn't that, we all want to feel good ourselves, but we also feel good when we can help somebody else feel good. And it's contagious.
mm. I spoke with a CEO a couple of months ago. I still remember this, and he calls it a playbook, his playbook of how, like football, and his recipe for success and all of that. And the number one thing in there, and football game, everything is down on the down low, so the other team doesn't know. His is share the playbook, give it to everybody else, even your competition. It's okay. It's it's good. You are going to grow just by doing that. Maybe there might be a couple of prior proprietary secret sauce kind of things that maybe you
Right.
don't want, but for the most part, he's like, yeah, there it is. Here, take a look at it. There you go. He's got nothing to hide, and he's very successful. Mm.
I love that. That's so true because it's empowering to know that what you have, others want to see it, others want to share it. And it doesn't mean you're giving away your secrets. It just means, hey, here we are.
Yeah.
We can all do this. And always there's nuances that you want to keep a couple things to yourself, but that's just part of life too. As we keep ourselves personal and we keep some of our own things to ourselves because it's we cherish who we are and we cherish what we have and who we've become and how we got there.
I'm not writing on the negative here at all, but what is holding us back from being good with what we have, being good with who we are? We talked about guilt. That's one of them. I think that's a big one. What else is in the way?
I think of not recognizing what's right in front of us.
Hmm.
I think it's easy to go backwards, but I think if we can just stop and say, hey, it's not so bad, and finding the goodness in being happy. And, it's easy to go backwards. We can all do that. But I think if we can jumpstart ourselves and sort of snap out of it, if you will, and notice the little things. Notice, like a perfectly brewed cup of coffee. I mean, it doesn't need to be complicated. It can be simple as, you answered an email or, the other things you own it, say it out loud.
Hmm. I experienced that the other day, kind of ridiculous. So, Cat sends a toy underneath this entertainment cabinet. I bought it like 3 years ago when I moved, and I kind of, bought things in a rush and just put them in there and everything. And the cat toy goes underneath, and I'm going to go get it. And then I'm looking at this piece, not very expensive at all. And it's got a little, you touch the side of it and it turns, you don't even press a button, you just touch it. Your finger touches it and it puts a light underneath it and you can make the intensity. Since I'm looking at it, I'm like, it's a really nice piece of furniture and I own it. Good for
Right.
me.
Yep.
It's like and I never, you pass by it every day, well, not even thinking about it. I looked at it in a different way, like, you know what? That's okay. Not wasn't costly. It's like serves its purpose. It's me. It the colors me, uh the wood grain, every that fit. It was, and I never thought of it in that way because
Right.
you're just doing life.
You're doing life, and that's exactly what it is. You're so busy doing life that you don't take the steps back and go, you know what, look around, and the furniture you've purchased or this and that, you accomplished that. You did that
Hmm.
with zero guilt, that and being happy about it. And it is the little things. I really do think that, you know, I say this all the time, life is simple, we complicate it.
Yep. And you said accomplished. It's a great word. Accomplish or accomplishment, because stupid piece of furniture. But you know what? I worked for it. I
Right.
picked it out. That was an accomplishment. Never even thought of it that way. Now look around and what have you accomplished in your life, even in the last year? We don't even look at it. And more of those things, once we start adding them up, you might be pressed to say, I'm good with who I am, right?
Right, exactly. I mean, it's easy to walk around our homes or our lives and say, gosh, I wish I was doing this. I wish it was doing that. And it can create, kind of a downward spiral. And that's when you need to kind of snap yourself out of it, shake up what you're doing, and think back to the simplicity of your life and say, hey, it's good to be me. And I know that that can sound arrogant. It's not selfish, it's powerful.
Mm. Well, it comes back, we talked about the G word guilt before. Let's go with another
Right,
one. And we've talked about this other one many times. Gratitude,
right.
important, right?
Absolutely. Gratitude is huge. And guilt is huge too, to realize we don't need to feel guilty to be happy at all. It's unapologetical, yeah, or unapologetic. It's important to understand it is fine, it is good, it is powerful. And think about where you've come and why you can look in the mirror and say, it's good to be me.
Why do you think it's important to say that? How does that move
Oh
your life
gosh.
forward?
In every aspect, it moves your life forward. And these are the baby steps that we've talked about so many times. It's the baby steps that propel you forward in saying the little things, a good cup of coffee or the piece of furniture or just the little things. And I think that propels you. How could you not be happy and proud of yourself if you are walking around in your life saying all the good things to yourself that you've already done? I mean, it goes back to self-preservation. Take care of yourself, talk good to yourself, say goodness about yourself to yourself. And I think there's nothing, you can't go wrong when you're doing that. I think it just propels you in a positive direction for the rest of the day, for every day.
How could things be wrong if you're walking around saying it's good to be me?
That's exactly right.
It's
I
almost
think
like a
it's that
like a
simple.
shield, like a force field that you put up
Yes.
around you,
Yep.
you know? What else do you
Yeah.
want people to know about that?
Don't be afraid to say it's good to be smart. I think people shrink and people are weird about saying, they're smart. They downplay it, they make a joke of it, they act like it's confidence is a crime. It's like we're supposed to pretend we don't know what we know just to make everybody else comfortable. And that's not true. I mean, it's okay to own who you are. You're smart. And I don't talk, I'm not talking about Mensa smart. I'm talking about smart decisions, smart in life, smart in your goal setting, being smart about who you are. And and pay attention. You can connect the dots. You can say, I'm good with that. I'm good with being smart. I'm good with being me. And if that's because of that, then I'm okay with that.
Well, I guess that is embracing who you are,
Right.
and you've got certain talents, certain things that you might know that somebody else doesn't. Instead of dumbing it down, so
Right.
many of us are afraid to look too smart,
Right.
so we kind of minimize. But you know what? That's your special talent.
Right.
That person next to you doesn't have that. They got something else you don't have.
That's right. They have a smart that's different from yours.
Exactly.
Smart doesn't have a definition of exact smartness, and it's not about bragging either. It's about showing your own strengths, your own personal growth, not shrinking, not dumbing down, like you said, be good with it. You earned it. You deserve it.
Is this essentially loving yourself?
Yes, I would agree with that.
Hmm.
Not enough of us do that.
Would you say that you're good with you now?
I'm very good with me now. Took a while. It was a journey.
Likewise. Yeah.
And I think because of the journey is why I can say it's good to be me. And I don't preface it with but or why. It's just a complete sentence for me. But yes, it took a while. Took a long time.
When you got to that point, what changed for you? How would you describe how life is different, even if it's a little different, when you have that mindset? Like, yeah, it's good to be me. I'm good.
It was the daily, I'm going to call it a grind. It was the daily personal choices that I made every single day
Mhm.
to get where I'm at. The baby steps. It wasn't just one day I'm like, oh my gosh, so good to be me. No, it had nothing to do with that. It was every day. What am I doing to make me be who I want to be, who I want to become? And literally, it was a daily activity. I'm not going to call it a chore because it wasn't. It was an activity that I did daily with affirmations and walking around in my own life saying, I got this. I can do this.
Mm.
And I wrote it down because I needed to know that I was continually making progress every single day, becoming who I wanted to be and being happy with who I'm becoming. And I'm
Mm.
there. I mean, it's not done for sure. Every day is still a continuing process for sure. But it's great. It's a good feeling.
Would you say these words, and I'm piloting off of, I'm thinking to myself what that feels like for me. Would you say it feels like this for you? Comfortable, you have resilience that you never knew you had.
Hmm. Hmm.
Uh, there's a sense of freedom that comes from that.
Yes.
And and this is not a one word description. I have to explain it, but those days where life gets a little challenging and you might wake up on maybe not the best side of the bed. It's one of the you have that kind of day, but because you realize that it's good to be you, it flips very fast back into a positive spin.
Hmm. And that goes back to talk positive about yourself because your brain, what your mouth says, your brain hears. Regardless if you say it laughing, it still
Mm.
resonates within you. So check yourself and make sure that all the things you're saying about yourself are positive, even if you're not feeling like it. And and like you said, be good with being mentally resilient. That's huge. Talk. It's a big part of who we become when we can become mentally resilient. It's an action, it's proactive, and it grows. And I think that's it's not about being tough all the time. It means when you get knocked down, get back up. That's resilience, mental resilience.
And you get up faster.
Right. The saying, get knocked down 7 times, get up eight.
Mm.
Yeah, it's true.
How long did this take for you to, and everybody's journey is different, but
Right.
if you could go back to where you were, maybe at the starting point to where you are, how much time went by there?
For me,
Where
honest,
let me just
yeah,
interject
yeah,
one
yeah.
thing where you realize that it's good to be you. I mean, years could have gone by where you had that realization to now, but where you first realized that, yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
It took about a year to
Mm,
really resonate in me the building blocks from point A, the bridge, to the end, not the end, but to where I became comfortable, confident to say it. But I didn't, while I was going through the process of becoming who I am today, it wasn't just, oh, I'm here. This is great. It took time, it took diligence, it took mental clarity, mental resilience. I did get knocked down 7 times, but I got up eight, nine, and
mm.
10. But it took, I would say, a good year to really look me in the eye and say, "You got this." Dance in the kitchen, say, "I got
Well,
it."
this is why you're a life coach because for me, probably 3 years and maybe a little bit more, and then from that 3 year point to now, um, it was there, but it just keeps getting better.
Right, right. I
But
mean, happiness knows no age, and that's, the beauty of it. Being comfortable in your own skin doesn't come with an age limit. You can be confident, happy, unapologetic at every stage. I mean, think about your 20s. You can be wildly ambitious in your 20s, your 30s, you're fierce and fearless, all the way through 60s, fully unapologetic, owning every story, every scar, and every laugh line. That's powerful.
there is a story in every scar, whether it's on your body or emotional scars.
Right.
Those are my
True.
tattoos. Yeah. What do you want somebody to know, Cindy, if they finally had the realization, I gotta change up the way I think. I want to be happy. I want to move my life forward. I want to look in the mirror and say, hey, it's good to be me. What would you say?
Take a deep breath, get a piece of paper, get a pen, not a pencil, start writing it down. Write your journey. even if it's so simple as I woke up today and I felt good, or I got out of bed today. It can be that simple. And don't beat yourself up if you don't get there. You've still got your list. If today that didn't work out, or this moment it didn't work out, it's going to work out. Keep going forward. Keep writing your list. Keep going. And I think that will, and the baby steps, just do it and just move on. And that worked for me. So that's the best advice I can offer, is what works for me. I think it's not easy, but it can be done. I know the saying, if I can do it, anybody can do it. But it's, if and I think that's true. It's just that simple to
Mm.
talk good to yourself.
You said these words, and it just, I see like the sun coming out with these words. It will get better.
Yes,
It's going to be okay. But you need to believe that. And that's not just some bunk we're just saying.
right. You have to say it in your brain,
Yeah.
out of from your mouth to your brain to your body to your spirit to your soul.
And
Sometimes it
every
takes just that.
100%. And every word, every thought counts. If you're in the kitchen cooking and you're making this amazing Italian dish, I'm making penne alla vodka. I've got all the ingredients. I don't cook, by the way, but if you got all the stuff here, you're mixing it up and everything. I'm going to put some peanut butter in there now. Why? Well, that peanut butter is that negative thought that you had 10 minutes ago. We have those thoughts, yes, but put the peanut butter away, the negative thought. It doesn't belong in that dish. It doesn't belong in you. The more you think it, the more it just puts a time barrier on you moving forward.
That's a great visual. I love that.
And I don't cook.
Yeah.
But I had peanut butter a little while ago. So
But don't bring things into it that don't belong.
yeah.
And I think that's a great philosophy. I love that.
Yeah, it's mucking up the dish.
Right.
You're the amazing creation. But why add that negative stuff in there? I get it. Times these things pop up. I do it myself. I'll have that negative thought. What's the difference now in the journey?
Right.
I realize it and I'll squash it. So like I have a thought like, ooh, 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 no, 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 no.
Right. But
Stop that.
that's a good point you make, is there are the peanut butters in the cupboard. They're all the negative thoughts. They're out there. Don't reach for them.
You don't need to,
Right.
and I know this is woo and easy to say and everything. We Do you have negative thoughts occasionally?
Of course I do, but over time, I have taught myself to catch myself quickly and go a different direction, because I know for me, for all of us, it can be a quick spiral. And we all have things in life that, we wish had gone differently or done differently. That's there, but it doesn't need to be in your life every day. For sure. That I'm human. We all have negative thoughts, but there's so many positives, and I think that's a thing that we all need to catch ourselves. Write a pro and cons list. If that's what you feel
Mm,
like it's going to help you get better, write the of just about the day, the good that happened in the day, the bad that happened in the day, and move going forward. One con, check that off, and add more to the pros. Those are the baby steps.
yeah.
Those are the places that take you to the next level.
And
Come who you
they
want to be.
and they work.
And it
They
works.
do. They just
It
do,
does. It sounds simple, but it
I know.
but
Yeah.
it can be. Keep it
What's
simple.
what sounds simple? Breathing. Take deep breaths,
Yes.
well, guess what? It works and it's scientifically proven.
Yeah.
Cindy, how do we connect with you? If somebody needs somebody to walk this journey, some accountability, maybe help them see the beauty in themselves or like get rid of the negative thoughts, how do we do that?
I'm going to start in my closing with, say it with me. It's good to be happy. It's good to be smart. It's good to be mentally resilient. And it's good to be healthy and strong. Because when you own who you are, the world rises to meet you. Carry that energy with you throughout your day,
Mm.
every day. And remember, how you show up matters. And above all, just to be it. I'm Cindy Valente. You can reach me at cindyvalente.com, and we'll see you next time.
Great talk today. Great subject. And how can I say that? Because I walked that journey. I can really say it.
And we're
It's
here to talk about it.
and we're here to talk about it, and it's better and getting better.
Yeah.
Appreciate you. We'll talk soon. Okay.
Thanks. Have a great
Thanks.
day.
We'll be right back.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.